everyone? Welcome back to the G.B.B. Jay once again. And on this one, guys, I'm joined by Shan in London. Boys, what up?
What's going on? What's going on, everyone?
Guys, this is the review for Manchester United versus Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. And it's a bittersweet result. 2-2, Manchester United obviously conceding in the final minutes of the game to get a draw and only get 1 point. But I think it was a pretty balanced game. Guys, what are your thoughts? Let's get into it.
Yeah, it was a good game. We came back in that second half and showed some desire and some fight that's been missing. But I think it was a good game. I think it was a fair result considering the match on the whole. I mean, for that last 15 minutes, you could see Chelsea were coming, and deep down in the pit of every United fan's heart, you just knew there was a goal to come. But look, a draw at Stamford Bridge is no lean feat.
Yeah, I think we were lucky to get away with the draw because obviously Chelsea had that many opportunities and that many chances. I think they'll be ruining the fact that they didn't take some of those opportunities, which is what we've pretty much been saying for most of the season. We get opportunities as lean as the opportunities have been, but we haven't taken them in games where we should have. And I think they'll be looking at it that way in this case. Obviously, having scored the first goal, they obviously had the momentum, and given their form recently, Chelsea still hasn't lost this season. So for them, that would have been pretty much a dream scenario, being in front, knowing the way that United's been playing lately, that we haven't really been an attacking beast of a team. Martial popping up and getting 2 goals is obviously fantastic to see. And I think it meant a bit to him because he obviously showed it. He cracked a smile. You don't see that from Tony Martial that often. London, from your point of view, what was your thoughts on the game?
Firstly, it was an exciting game. It was a game of two halves from Man United's perspective. What I found really exciting about the game, because with big games like that, it's like sometimes they can cancel each other out, and if there's no goals, the game can just be really boring.
Yeah.
So in that sense, where there was a lot of goals, there's a lot of action. No one kind of really sat back in that sense, and they were kind of both going for it. As you said, Chelsea had more of the control, control in the first half, but I think Man United they came out, showed a bit of fight, and that changed the balance of the game. But it's almost like it was evenly matched because Matic's done a good job on Hazard playing through the middle.
Yeah.
Because he likes to do his bits from the left or through the middle, stuff like that. And he has to kind of drift out wide to kind of be a danger. So in that sense, Matic he done a good job in that sense. Pogba with him, he came into the game later on, and he showed glimpses of, and it wasn't just glimpses. He almost had 10 minutes where he was just running the game. And I was like, even the commentators were saying he needs to be doing that for the whole game.
Yeah.
He's one of those players when he decides to turn it on, he's untouchable. It doesn't matter, and it's not like Chelsea haven't got good midfielders. Their whole midfield's good, but he made them look like little boys when he decided to go. Okay, cool. You know what? Now I need to start putting my foot on the ball and dictating.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is with him. What kind of makes him tick in that sense? What turns it on? But if you can kind of get more minutes. It'll be nice if every game it kind of progresses. Let's say we said 10 minutes this week, and next week is 20. Week after is 30, and then you see a whole half where he's dictating to a point where he's dictating the whole game, towards the end of the season. Then you've really got a real world class player on your hands. You know what I'm trying to say? Where you can actually say, okay, cool. He's not just doing it for France now; he's doing it for Man United as well.
Yeah.
And all that early talk that they had between themselves, not living up to the
price tag and all the issues with Mourinho, everyone will forget about that. But he just needs to show that class on a consistent basis. Everyone wants to see consistency. That is the main thing.
Yeah.
As a player, like if you can show consistency, you don't have to be doing 10s every game. You just need to be showing that 7, 8, and people know that as soon as you step on the field, they know what they're getting.
Yeah, he's just going to be present in games, and he doesn't have to be the one that drags us over the line every single game. He just needs to be in the mix. He needs to just bring players into the game because he has that ability. He has that ability to bring guys into the game, being in the middle of the park and having the ability that he has. He can link up, our defense to our midfield to our forwards, and obviously with, the side-to-side play, which Manchester United pretty much are the side-to-side play experts at the moment, because we get the ball, we go left to right, left to right, left to right. Ball goes up, goes towards the corner flag. We put in a cross, either failed cross or no one's there to meet it. But when you were saying about Pogba and the way that he's playing, I do see that Pogba is that type of player that can turn it on and off. And I think that's a bit of the problem with him. I think he needs to understand that he needs to be on 24/7 whenever he's on the pitch, because we need him to be that player. And I think Martial is the opposite of him. I think that those 2 goals from Martial are completely instinct. He doesn't get on the pitch and goes, I'm going to give more this game. I think he's an old school type of player and an old school type of mentality that he's on the pitch, he's doing what he can when he can. Yes, players have form slumps and things like that, but I think Martial is the most instinctful player that we have, because both those goals were quick reaction time. He needed to have quick reaction, and I think just that instinct kicked in, and that's what you saw in those 2 goals. I definitely think that if he can rub off on Pogba, and Pogba just, never mind the switch. He's just going to keep himself in top gear all the time, because, we'll be a better team for it. And like you say, London, the conversation about him and the price tag and all that stuff over time, it will go away. Right now, when we're talking about his price tag, it pales in comparison to what players are going for, a season or 2 seasons after we bought him. There's players being transferred, and there's transfers that are happening that are ridiculous prices that, sort of dwarf the price that we paid at the time. So I think that also needs to come out of the equation. It all needs to be now the ability of the player, but he's the only one that can change people's mentality or thought process about him, is if he gives his all. So I think for us, the way that we played this particular game, when I saw the team before the game, I thought we're going to get pulled to pieces here. I thought Chelsea were absolutely going to run us into the ground. I thought it would have been 3 or 4-0. But we turned up. Our centre-halves played well. Our wing-backs played well. Our midfield was, as you said with Matic, where was Hazard? Hazard has absolutely terrorized other teams this season, and we were able to nullify him, or just, keep him quiet and keep him from doing that link-up play that has made him such a threat this season. And I think I pretty much said it in previous videos that I think he's pretty much the player of the season as it's going in the Premier League overall. I think he's definitely found his mojo back this season under Sarri. Shan, you got anything else to add there? Anything you wanna drop back in?
Yeah. Look, I think in this game we saw the effects of what we were speaking of 2 weeks ago with the international break coming up. It almost feels like on the whole that fog has lifted somewhat, because not only did the players play fantastically in every part of the pitch, there were periods of that match where the defense was fantastic in holding them out for as much as they could. There was periods of that match where Mata was everywhere he needed to be. There were pieces of that match where our front three were just amazing in spots. So, if, like you're saying, if we can build up that momentum and maybe establish a first team and the rolling subs for games moving on, so that everyone sort of can cement down and chop and change can subside, we'll look to have a good team and finally get some of the wins that we've been lacking.
Yeah, I agree. London, anything you got there in closing?
No, I think that's completely like what Shan said. It's just like anything. They need to. They got a good result a couple of weeks ago, and then obviously this is a good result in itself, and it's just a matter of building on that. Even like from the first half, because I did say it's a game of two halves. Like the first half was typical Man United, where it was like the build up coming up to the final third. It's like they run out of ideas. Now that completely changed in the second half, where you saw a lot of link up. And I was like, okay, cool, this is the Man United that you want to see, because they have got good attacking players who know how to play with each other and stuff like that, and they started to express that a little bit in the second half, which it kind of pulled the Chelsea defence in all different angles and areas and stuff like that, and that's what you need. So if that is something to work on from here, it could be really positive if they can continue in that vein.
True. And again, when you say about that getting into the final third and that spark being there, I think again that comes from that instinct of Martial. I think he changes the way that we play because he plays off that instinct, and we know that he's got that ability to take on the defenders, and I think the defenders know that as well. So they're a bit hesitant to go directly in and lunge at him, because they know that every day of the week Martial walks through brick walls and still comes out the other side with the ball.
You can say the same for Rashford, though. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
There were a few mistakes that he made in the game, but on the whole, he was the one really trying to drive in, cut in from that right-hand side, took shots when he needed to, which we've been asking of Lukaku more and more often. And Lukaku needs to lift his game to match with those two on the wings.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If he starts taking shots from outside the box, if he gets some of those headers on, there's no reason we would have lost any games this season. So he needs to find some consistency and form and quick.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just to add with Rashford, it's something that I've been noticing with him for the past few weeks, is that it's almost like he's changed his game slightly, where when I first originally saw him, he liked to link up. He almost was similar to the way Hazard plays, where he would always pass it off and move off the ball and link up like in short in small areas. Where now it seems like they've asked him to kind of push and run, the ball and run, and like use his pace a bit more. And I don't think that's his game. Yes, he can still do it, but I think he's more effective. And especially like what we're talking about in regards to having that X factor in the final third and doing something a bit different with Martial as well. If he gets back to the old way that I can remember him when he first came on the scene, even that would have a massive impact as well. Because I just think this going down the wing and crossing it for Man United it's not working for them.
It's not our style, yeah.
No, because there's not enough movement.
And the funny thing is, the person that crosses the best that we have in our attack is Lukaku. So when he drops onto the right-hand side and he's crossing balls in, that's the best quality crossing that we're getting. So I agree. I think we need to try Rashford as our leading striker, just while Lukaku's in this bit of a spell. And I remember last season that Lukaku at this very time was going through the same sort of dry patch. He exploded at the beginning when we were winning games 4-0 last season, and he sort of went quiet towards November and Christmas time, and then picked his game back up after that. So there's something that's happening in this period, whether it's obviously the amount of games that we've got back-to-back. Unlike Chelsea, we're playing Champions League football, and we've got so many games back-to-back that we're playing, as well as international break and things like that, that I think it disrupts his pattern and whatever his training regime is. It's always this sort of period of time where he has that lull. So hopefully we can get an understanding, and he gets through this period. Obviously now being at United in his second season, hopefully he finds what it is that he needs to get that rhythm back and start scoring goals, because we know he can do it. Guys, Shannon and I obviously did our teams, we did our predictor, we did our scores, and You'll see the teams popping up at the bottom. You'll see what Shannon got right, what I got right, and you'll see up in the top right-hand corner what the leaderboard is looking like at the moment. Points are going here and there and here and there. So that's getting exciting as well. Guys, I want to thank Shannon and London for joining me on this one. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, follow. Check us out on all our social media platforms. Boys, thanks for joining me. And guys, we'll see you in the next one. Shot.